repeat guest, but no better time.
Yeah, that's right.
For Jaylen Withers to come by the studio. Hubert Davis has been talking about forget exactly how he puts it, a dynamic difference that Jaylen Withers has made in this year's team.
Adam, we've seen it with our eyes. We don't need Coach Davis to tell us. We're seeing it.
And so perfect time for Jaylen Withers to come by. You heard him last year, I think maybe like January of 24 you were here. Now he's back. He's older, wiser, and he's knocking in threes from all over the place. Jaylen Withers, thanks so much for coming by.
Appreciate y'all having me.
All right, first question. Do we just need to repeatedly poke you in the eye like once a month or something to get you playing at this high level?
That's what it's seeming like. Seems like the harder the poke, the better. So, gotta really get in there.
So for fun, we've mentioned it, I know, some on the radio broadcast during the games, but before Syracuse, right? It was the practice maybe before y'all left for Syracuse. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Jaylen got hit in the eye during practice. There was some question about whether or not he was even going to play in that game. Of course, goes out and has a great game. Has been playing great ever since. I remember, it looked like it was hard to see. What was going on?
Yeah, in the moment of getting hit, I thought my eyeball came out. Not even gonna lie. It was bad.
Who hit you? Do you know?
Cade. It was like literally the goofiest thing ever. He was throwing like an inbound pass. We were working on pressing, and he threw an inbound pass, and like on the follow through, he ended up like, I guess, nicking my eye. So I ended up having like a black eye. My eyeball was bleeding, and literally like, my pupil and cornea was good, so that was a good thing. But everything around it was just, it looked bad. It looked like I got beat up. Yeah, pretty bad.
So how did you manage it in that Syracuse game? I just remember seeing you in the warm-ups in that game, and it looked like it was bothering you.
I say kudos to Doug. He patched me up, gave me I got some good meds, and, I was out there off straight sheer willpower, trying to force my eye open the entire time. The hardest thing was probably looking at my peripheral. That was probably the most painful part about it.
Okay, I'm going to ask you this now because I don't want to forget to ask it. On Wednesday at practice, after film, before stretch, were y'all like teaching Coach Davis how to do some of the celebrations that have happened here recently, and how did that go?
I think he took a liking to one of the specifics.
So take us through them. Like I saw him doing the one that Elliott did. Show us that one.
So he does I think Elliott did this one. RJ has these.
Yep.
It was one that the team was doing like this.
Yeah, what's that?
It was similar to the one from last year with Mondo and everybody whenever we were on the bench doing this. Pretty much like, we're pretty much on their ASS. I can't really curse on here.
On their butts.
On their butt.
Yeah.
We're on them. We got them where we want them.
And then you showed him yours, I think, for him after you made the three. And like, what's the thing? Like this thing. What's this?
This is a popular one recently.
So I got a question on two of them. One was, holding it up and then putting it over my face. That's more so like a FaceTime. Like it was a heavily contested three.
Yep.
I had to get it up and FaceTime.
Yeah.
Then there was another one where I think during Florida State, the first one was like it hit nothing but net. So it was a chef's kiss.
Yeah.
So it was, I don't know, I'm just working on the green animations, I guess.
Yeah, oh yeah. I feel like we could have Jay Witt in here once a month, and he would keep us up to date on all the latest trends.
I agree.
Yeah, we need this.
Did you get the impression that possibly maybe like in Saturday's game against Miami, if something good happens, Hubert Davis may be doing some of these things on the sideline? Like we look over there and he's doing FaceTime.
You may just see it. We got to do well in the game, and I think he just might.
Have you got any left that you haven't used yet or that you're thinking about breaking out?
Nah, I think as a team we got to brainstorm. Yeah, some of them are spur of the moment. The others are like, we tend to meet up as a team, brainstorm and figure out what we're gonna do for the game.
Well, here's the great news. You've had a lot of chances to use celebrations here recently. What's been different? And we have seen Jaylen Withers have terrific games and moments, both at Louisville and in your time here, but this has been some really high-level, sustained play. What's been different in your mind?
I would say the biggest thing has just been, me going back to, how I got recruited to come here, how I got recruited to go into college in general. Like I was a really good shooter coming out of high school, really good shooter coming, out of Louisville. So I think that me just, falling back on the work that's put in, the reps, the mental reps, the physical reps, that's kind of helped me out as far as, regaining my confidence and, I guess the stroke, if that makes any sense.
Yeah. I'm going to guess that there was a stretch during this season where you weren't getting as much time as you would like.
Mm-hmm.
And I would have to think that's frustrating. How did you manage that, and how did you make the decision to say, I'm not just going to be frustrated and pout the rest of the season, I'm going to try and do something about it? How did you make that choice?
I would say the choice was made after a number of phone calls with my dad. My dad pretty much like walked me through like the ups and downs of like, what the game can bring. And he said that, I've experienced this. As much as like our situations can be as different as possible, like it's a very similar situation. And he was pretty much like, in times like this, you just really got to keep your head down, keep working, persevere, and just wait for your card to be called. And I think that's more or less what I've been doing.
You had a great quote after the Virginia game in which you said, when you were talking about earlier in the year, you said, my nonchalantness was a lot, which I think
it was overwhelming at times for sure. I'll hit a 3 celebration straight face the entire time. Like now it's actually like, yeah, I'm cheesing from ear to ear. I'm talking to my teammates, I'm flexing. So yeah, it's a lot more energy, a lot more emotion out there.
When you look back at nonchalant Jaylen Withers, what do you see, and why was that guy not as effective as this guy?
I would say it would have worked with the team from last year because we had a lot more, like energetic, vocal, like Armando, Harrison, Zayden, RJ. Like we had a lot more guys, Cormac, Paxson, like a lot more guys that like pretty much like gave off the energy. So it was like I could kind of feed off of it. Now it's like I have to bring it. So I think that this year's team and the dynamic that we have at the point that we are in the season, that energy, that emotion is very much needed.
Did somebody tell you that, or did you figure it out on your own, or how did you realize that?
I would say it's been a little bit of everything. I think like, me seeing it, me constantly hearing like, yeah, like we have a quiet team. We need more energy. We need more leadership. We need this and that. And it's like, me being a 6-year, it was just like, all right, I've heard it for so long. Like I've got a lot of wisdom. I got the criteria, or I have the resume to fit the criteria. So let me go ahead and fill in the blanks where I can.
Has it come across your mind that, hopefully the Tar Heels are playing for several more weeks here and in deep into March and early April, but it's coming to an end here in the near future for you one way or another. Has that crept into your mind at all?
For sure. It's, how can I say it? It's, I think it's a good thing and a bad thing. Like it's good because, I'm finally done with school. Like I don't have to worry about, classes, Zoom meetings, et cetera, et cetera. Sure. It's more so like my own thing. Like I have a more free schedule. But I think the bad part is for sure. I mean, a no-brainer is basketball. Like college basketball is over for me. And, that connection, those relationships, and, the genuine chemistry that I have, I guess, with the team, the staff, the fans, the managers, like that's going to change at the next level. So I think that's probably been the biggest thing for me.
Have you thought about who you are if you're not college basketball player Jaylen Withers? Like you've been that for a long time.
Yeah, for sure. I think that's going to be another step in the growth process. Got to grow into who I really want to be, who I think I see myself being, and who I can be while I'm having fun, if that makes any sense.
What part of that growth has taken place here in Chapel Hill? Like if this version of Jaylen Withers talked to the guy who got here from Louisville, what differences would we see?
Definitely a lot stronger, smarter, wiser. Definitely came with a lot of experience the past couple of years, a lot to learn. But I would say, the athleticism is still there, but I think it's more so like spot moments. I think the jump shot has been the biggest thing that I think has been developed or worked on over the past couple of years.
It's like the old man at the YMCA now,
Literally,
Jaylen Withers.
literally,
He's that guy.
literally, I'm not going in there with all of that contact landing on my back. Nah, yeah, it's gonna take me a little minute to get up now. Whereas as a freshman, I could bounce back up real quick.
All right, we got to talk about this Jaylen Withers social media resurgence that has happened here over the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
What is happening out there?
I would say my dad and my dad has gotten a little beside himself. He's been working on I guess running a Division I basketball player's social media handle. So I think he's trying to figure out how to say the right things that are good, as well as trying to make it sound like me. So it's just a little tough, but he's pretty much like doing what I guess I would need him to do. It's kind of hard to run 3 different pages: Facebook,
Sure.
Twitter, Instagram, on top of school. Taking care of my dog.
I forgot about the dog. We talked about your dog last time. I remember.
Man, it's literally so much. So I think that he's helping me I guess mitigate all of the work.
Now, Mondo cast some doubt upon your Twitter.
Nah, I'm still on there. I'm still on there. I seen it, but yeah, I didn't have the time to respond to him. Yeah, I'll definitely have to respond in a little bit.
Has there been anything that's gone out on your stuff and then you see it for the first time? You're like, I don't know if I would have said it exactly like that.
I think the message on I think it was after I want to say Virginia game. I think it was after the Virginia game. It was a message sent out, and that was the message that I was more so looking to express, but just the verbiage was
Maybe a little different.
Yeah, it was a little different for sure. It wasn't too fond of my liking. I wasn't too much of my liking.
I don't even know if so. You and several of the guys went to a middle school basketball game a couple weeks ago. I don't know if you saw me there, but I was there.
Because Jones follows you around.
Yeah, I was following you around. No, I had a kid playing.
Yeah, I peeped you.
What was? And I think someone told me that you guys were there primarily because you were doing something with one of the kids on one of the teams. Is that right? Okay,
I'm just doing the mentoring.
Sorry, I'm not doing a great way to set this up. But what was happening with that?
So for my master's degree, I'm doing a mentoring program on, just helping out the Black youth, understand right from wrong, being that big brother in a sense to where, the kids that may not have the best of support, understand what would be a good decision, what wouldn't be, the guidance that I think a lot of the minority group doesn't really receive at times. I think that that's been the biggest emphasis for me. But it's for my master's program. Have
you enjoyed doing that?
Yeah, for sure. I think I actually met with the kids earlier today, and we had a very interactive meeting. It was we talked about just made it to where it was a comfortable environment and got to know one another. I made them write down in a notebook what was three moments that they were the most comfortable and 3 moments where they felt like they had their back to the wall, and some pretty good answers. We had maybe 1 or 2 that were a little nervous to share, but outside of that, I think that everybody was feeling comfortable. Everybody spoke their piece.
You've obviously learned some stuff about them by doing that. What have you learned about yourself having those kinds of interactions?
I love the kids. I think as far as the personal relationships, I think that a lot of the guys, even outside of me being a basketball player, they're pretty cool, and I think that they think that I'm pretty cool. So I think that that's a really good big thing for me, especially having younger siblings of my own.
Okay, Jaylen's got to go because he's still got some stuff he's got to do, but Tar Heels are playing better. Mm-hmm. What needs to continue here over these last couple of games on the regular season and beyond? What do you think has prompted this as a team, and how can you guys keep it rolling?
Continuing to do whatever it takes and diving into the little details. I think that's what's really going to get us to where we want to be.